He ruled a criminal empire built on fear, silence, and blood money. Men trembled when he entered a room. Deals worth millions closed with a single nod of his head. He'd orchestrated takedowns that made headlines and buried secrets deep enough that they'd never surface. But nothing had ever disarmed him like this. In the darkness of his penthouse office, Kang Min-jun stared at his phone screen, bathed in the soft glow of an image that didn't belong in his world. A woman. Pregnant. Radiant. Her hand cradled her belly with a tenderness that felt foreign to everything he knew. The photo was stunning, shot in golden hour light, her silhouette draped in flowing white fabric against a sunset backdrop. Her skin glowed like polished mahogany. Her eyes held something he couldn't name. Strength, maybe. Or defiance. She wasn't his. The photo wasn't meant for him. And yet, he couldn't look away. 3 hours earlier. Amanda Collins had never felt more alone, or more determined to not feel that way. She stood in front of the full-length mirror in her small Brooklyn apartment, smoothing down the cream-colored maternity dress she'd splurged on for today's photo shoot. 7 months pregnant. Single. Starting over for the third time in her 29 years. "You're doing this for you," she whispered to her reflection, placing both hands on her belly. "For us." The father was gone, had been gone since the second pink line appeared on that test. Her family was distant, both geographically and emotionally. Her friends meant well, but they had their own lives, their own families, their own complicated everything. But this? This maternity shoot? This was hers. A declaration. A moment of beauty in a season that had been anything but easy. She'd saved for 2 months to afford the photographer, had picked out every detail, the location, the dress, the time of day. She deserved to feel beautiful. Her daughter deserved to see, one day, that her mother had chosen joy even when life tried to serve her sorrow. The shoot had gone better than she'd imagined. Prospect Park at sunset. The photographer, a kind woman named Maria, had known exactly how to position her, how to catch the light. Amanda had felt self-conscious at first, her body was changing in ways she was still getting used to, but Maria's encouragement had melted her anxiety. "You're glowing, Mama. Own it. Own it." And she had. By the time they wrapped, Amanda felt lighter than she had in months. Maria promised to send the edited photos within a week, but she'd already texted a few previews, raw shots that made Amanda's breath catch. "I look powerful," she thought, scrolling through them on the subway ride home. She wanted to share them. Needed to, really. Not for validation, but because holding this much beauty inside felt selfish somehow. Her thumb hovered over her mother's contact. They hadn't spoken in 6 weeks, not since the argument about choices and responsibilities. Maybe this would be an olive branch. Maybe seeing her daughter like this, strong and radiant, would soften something. Amanda opened the message thread, attached her 3 favorite photos, and typed. "Thought you'd want to see these. 7 months today. We're doing good, Mom. Really good." She hit send before she could overthink it. Then she set her phone face down on her lap and closed her eyes, letting the rhythm of the train lull her into something close to peace. The buzz of her phone startled her awake. Amanda blinked, disoriented. The train had stopped, her stop. She grabbed her purse and rushed out just before the doors closed, her phone still clutched in her hand. It wasn't until she was climbing the stairs to street level that she glanced at the screen. Her stomach dropped. Message failed to deliver. No. No, no, no. She opened her messages, and her heart stopped entirely. The photos, those photos, the ones she'd poured her heart into, the ones meant for her mother, had gone to a number she didn't recognize. A number that was only 1 digit different from her mom's. Unknown number. Delivered 6:47 p.m. Oh God, Amanda breathed, stopping dead on the sidewalk as people flowed around her. Oh my God. She'd sent her maternity photos, intimate, vulnerable, deeply personal photos, to a complete stranger. Panic clawed up her throat. She quickly typed, "I am so sorry. Those were meant for someone else. Please delete them." Her hands shook as she hit send. What if it was some creep? What if they shared them? What if? Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. No apology needed. You look radiant. Congratulations. Amanda stared at the words. Not creepy. Not crude. Just kind. She didn't know what to do with that. Amanda. Thank you, but seriously, I'm mortified. Wrong number. Unknown number. Mistakes happen. For what it's worth, whoever those were meant for is lucky. That's a powerful moment you captured. Something in her chest loosened. Whoever this person was, they understood. They saw what she'd been trying to create. Amanda. You're being really nice about this. Most people would have been weird. Unknown number. Most people haven't been given a glimpse of something that honest. Amanda bit her lip, torn between ending the conversation and not. Amanda. Well, thanks for not making this worse than it already is. Unknown number. How far along are you? She hesitated. This was a stranger. But something about the exchange felt safe. Curiosity won out. Amanda. 7 months. A girl. Unknown number. She's lucky to have a mother who celebrates her before she's even here. Amanda felt tears prick her eyes. She didn't know why those words hit so hard, but they did. Amanda. Thank you. Really. Unknown number. Take care of yourself, Amanda. She froze. She hadn't told him her name. Kang Min-jun saved the contact under a false name, Grace. Ironic, considering Grace was something he'd never known much about. He leaned back in his leather chair, the glow of his phone the only light in the room. Around him, the city sprawled, a kingdom he controlled through fear and calculated violence. But in this moment, none of it mattered. The woman in those photos, Amanda, he'd learned from the metadata embedded in the image file, represented everything his world tried to destroy. Vulnerability. Hope. Innocence. He should delete the photos. Block the number. Forget this ever happened. But he didn't. Instead, he stared at her image and felt something he hadn't felt in 15 years. Want. Not possession. Not conquest. Just want. To know her. To protect her. To exist in the orbit of someone that good. His phone buzzed with an encrypted message from his second-in-command. Business. Always business. A shipment. A problem. A body. Min-jun silenced it. For the first time in his life, the Empire could wait. He looked at the photos one more time, his jaw tightening with resolve. If she knew who he really was, she would never have replied. Are you already hooked? Drop a comment right now, because this innocent mistake? It's about to change everything. Hit that like button and buckle up. This love story comes with a body count. What happens when a woman carrying new life accidentally stumbles into the world of a man who deals in death? 3 days later. Amanda told herself she wouldn't text him again. The stranger, whoever he was, had been kind about the mix-up, even complimentary. But that's where it should have ended. Delete the thread. Move on. Focus on the million things a single mother-to-be needed to worry about. Except she couldn't stop thinking about what he'd said. She's lucky to have a mother who celebrates her before she's even here. No one had said anything like that to her. Not her ex. Not her mother. Not even her closest friends, who mostly offered practical advice about diaper brands and pediatricians. This stranger had seen something in those photos that even she had struggled to name. So when her phone buzzed at 2 a.m., insomnia and pregnancy were cruel companions, and she saw a new message, her heart did something stupid. Unknown number. Can't sleep either? Amanda stared at the screen, her thumb hovering over the keyboard. Amanda. How did you know I was awake? Unknown number. Lucky guess. Pregnancy insomnia? Amanda. Among other things. Why are you up? Unknown number. Work. It never really stops. Amanda. What do you do? There was a long pause. Amanda wondered if she'd pushed too far, asked too much. Unknown number. I manage logistics. International trade. It's complicated and boring. Amanda. Sounds intense. Unknown number. It has its moments. But right now, I'd rather hear about you. What's keeping you up besides the obvious? And just like that, Amanda found herself talking to a stranger at 2 a.m. about things she hadn't told anyone. It started small. A text here. A message there. Never intrusive. Never demanding. Just present. Min-jun would ask about her day, and Amanda would tell him about the little things, finding the perfect crib on sale, feeling her daughter kick during a movie, the weird craving for pickles and ice cream that turned out to be real, not a myth. He listened. Really listened. His responses were thoughtful, sometimes funny, always making her feel like what she said mattered. Amanda. I'm scared sometimes. That I won't be enough for her. Unknown number. You're already more than enough. You chose her. You're fighting for her. That's everything. Amanda. How do you know? You don't even know me. Unknown number. I know enough. I know you're stronger than you think you are. Amanda saved his number under a name, the kind stranger. She didn't know his real name. Didn't know what he looked like. Didn't know anything concrete about him. But she knew how he made her feel, seen. Amanda's landlord was a nightmare. Mr. Petrov had been breathing down her neck about rent for weeks, even though she'd paid on time every month for 3 years. Now, suddenly, he was claiming she owed back fees for maintenance costs that had never existed before. You pay by Friday, or you find new place, he'd barked at her that morning, his accent thick with irritation. Amanda had tried to reason with him, but he'd slammed the door in her face. She'd called everyone she could think of, tenant rights organizations, legal aid, but it was a waiting game. Meanwhile, Friday was 2 days away, and she didn't have an extra $800 lying around. That night, she mentioned it to the kind stranger. Amanda. Sorry, I'm venting. Landlord issues. Just stressed. The kind stranger. Tell me. She did. All of it. The threats, the fake fees, the fear of being evicted while 7 months pregnant. The kind stranger. That's illegal. He can't do that. Amanda. I know. But illegal doesn't stop him from trying. The kind stranger. Give me his name. Amanda. What? Why? The kind stranger. Just trust me. Amanda hesitated, then typed, Viktor Petrov. Why, what are you going to do? The kind stranger. Nothing you need to worry about. Get some rest. The next morning, Mr. Petrov knocked on Amanda's door. He looked different. Pale. Nervous. Miss Collins, he said, his voice uncharacteristically soft. I make mistake. You know, oh money. We, even. No problem. Amanda blinked. What? Is fine. All fine. No more issue. He practically ran back down the hall. Amanda closed the door slowly, her mind racing. She picked up her phone. Amanda. What did you do? The kind stranger. I made a call. That's all. Amanda. Who are you? The kind stranger. Someone who doesn't like seeing good people get pushed around. Amanda should have been afraid. Should have been suspicious. But all she felt was relief. And something else. Something warm and dangerous. In the shadows of his world, Kang Min-jun was unraveling. He sat in a private room of an upscale Korean barbecue restaurant in Koreatown, surrounded by his most trusted men. They were discussing a shipment, pharmaceuticals from China, weapons from Eastern Europe, the usual dance of logistics and violence. But Min-jun's mind was elsewhere. Hyungnim, his second-in-command, Park Jae-sung, said carefully. Are you listening? Min-jun's eyes snapped up, cold and sharp. Continue. Jae-sung exchanged a glance with the others but pressed on. Later, when the meeting ended and the men filtered out, Jae-sung lingered. You've been distracted, he said in Korean, his tone cautious. For 2 weeks now. Is there a problem? Min-jun poured himself a shot of soju, downing it in one smooth motion. No problem. With respect, Hyungnim, I've known you for 10 years. Something's different. Min-jun's jaw tightened. A woman. Jae-sung's eyebrows rose. A woman? She doesn't know who I am. She thinks I'm. Min-jun laughed bitterly. Someone normal. And you want to keep it that way? Yes. Why? Min-jun stared at his empty glass. Because the moment she knows, it ends. Everything ends. Jae-sung was quiet for a moment. Does she matter that much? Min-jun didn't answer. He didn't need to. Amanda's hospital bill was the next thing. She'd gone in for a routine checkup, but the hospital's billing department claimed her insurance had lapsed. They wanted $2,300 upfront for the remaining prenatal visits and delivery. Amanda had spent an entire afternoon on the phone with her insurance company, only to be told there was a processing error that would take weeks to resolve. She'd cried in the hospital parking lot. Ugly, heaving sobs that she couldn't control. That night, she told the kind stranger everything. The kind stranger. Which hospital? Amanda. Why? You can't fix this one. The kind stranger. Amanda. Which hospital? Amanda. Mount Sinai. But seriously, this isn't like the landlord thing. This is corporate bureaucracy. The kind stranger. I'll take care of it. Amanda. You keep saying that. How? The kind stranger. Does it matter? If it's handled, does it matter how? Amanda didn't respond. 2 days later, she received a call from the hospital's billing department. Miss Collins, we're so sorry for the confusion. Your insurance is fully active, and we've applied a charitable grant to your account. Your balance is 0. Amanda sat on her couch, phone pressed to her ear, unable to speak. Miss Collins? Are you there? Yes. Thank you. She hung up and immediately texted him. Amanda. You did it again. The kind stranger. You needed help. I helped. Amanda. But why? Why do you care so much about someone you've never even met? The 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Appeared again. The kind stranger. Because from the moment I saw those photos, I couldn't stop thinking about you. Because you deserve someone in your corner. Because maybe I'm selfish enough to want to be that person. Amanda's breath caught. Amanda. I don't even know your name. The kind stranger. Does that matter? Amanda. Yes. It does. Another long pause. The kind stranger. Min-jun. My name is Min-jun. Amanda smiled, tears slipping down her cheeks. Amanda. Thank you, Min-jun. Weeks passed. Their conversations deepened. Amanda found herself looking forward to his messages more than she wanted to admit. She told him about her dreams for her daughter. He told her about growing up in Seoul before moving to New York. She shared her favorite books. He recommended movies. They talked about everything. Except what he really did for a living. One night, Amanda finally asked directly. Amanda. Min-jun, what do you really do? And don't say logistics. People in logistics don't make landlords disappear or hospital bills vanish. Min-jun stared at his phone in his penthouse. Around him, the city glittered. Below him, an empire pulsed with illegal money and unspeakable violence. He typed, I manage investments and business interests. Some of them are complicated. Then he deleted it. He typed, I'm involved in operations that aren't always legal. Deleted. He typed, I'm dangerous, Amanda. And you're the first person in my life who doesn't need to be afraid of me. I want to keep it that way. Deleted. Finally, he sent. Min-jun. I'm in imports and exports. High-level negotiations. It's not glamorous. He hated lying to her. But the truth would destroy this. And he wasn't ready to lose her yet. What Amanda didn't know, what Min-jun would never tell her, was that she hadn't been alone in weeks. His men watched her building. Followed her to appointments. Made sure she was safe. Min-jun reviewed the reports every morning. Subject went to prenatal yoga. No incidents. Subject grocery shopping. No threats detected. Subject home. Secure. He told himself it was protection. That she needed it, even if she didn't know it. But Jae-sung knew better. Hyung-nim, you're in love with her. Min-jun didn't deny it. This is dangerous, Jae-sung continued. If anyone finds out about her, no one will. You can't guarantee that. I can. And I will. Amanda lay in bed that night, one hand on her belly, the other holding her phone. She read Min-jun's messages over and over. Something felt off. Not wrong, exactly. Just incomplete. Like he was showing her pieces of himself but keeping the whole picture hidden. Amanda. Min-jun? Min-jun. Yeah? Amanda. Promise me something. Min-jun. Anything. Amanda. If there's ever something I need to know about you, something important, you'll tell me. Even if it's hard. Min-jun's chest tightened. Min-jun. I promise. It was the first lie he'd told her directly. And it tasted like poison. Comment Team Min-jun if you think he's protecting her for the right reasons, or Team Truth if you think Amanda deserves to know who he really is. Can love survive a lie this big? Or is this just the calm before the storm? Amanda noticed the man in the black sedan on a Tuesday. She was walking back from her weekly prenatal appointment, bags of groceries in hand, when something made her look back. The car was parked across the street, engine running. Dark windows. No one getting in or out. Just watching. She told herself she was being paranoid. Pregnancy hormones. Stress. Too many true crime podcasts. But when she saw the same car the next day, parked outside her building at 6 a.m. when she left for a morning walk, the fear crystallized into something real. Someone was following her. That night, she texted Min-jun. Amanda. This is going to sound crazy, but I think someone's watching me. Min-jun. What do you mean? Amanda. There's a car. Black sedan. I've seen it 3 times in 2 days. Different locations. Always nearby. On the other end, Min-jun's blood went cold. Min-jun. Where are you right now? Amanda. Home. Doors locked. But Min-jun, I'm scared. Min-jun. I'm sending someone to check on you. Amanda. What? Who? Min-jun. A friend. Security professional. He'll make sure you're safe. Amanda. Min-jun, you're scaring me. How do you just have security professionals on call? Min-jun. Amanda, please. Just trust me. I'll explain everything. But right now, I need to make sure you're protected. Amanda's hands were shaking. Amanda. Protected from what? Min-jun didn't answer. What Min-jun didn't know, what his careful surveillance had missed, was that the black sedan wasn't his. Viktor Petrov, Amanda's landlord, had friends in low places. And when Min-jun's people had convinced him to forgive Amanda's fictional debt, Petrov had made calls of his own. He wanted to know who the hell had threatened him over some pregnant black girl. The answer had come back through the Russian networks that ran parallel to Min-jun's Korean operation. Kang Min-jun, head of the Biko faction. Petrov wasn't stupid enough to come at Min-jun directly. But he was bitter enough to want revenge. And if he couldn't touch Min-jun, he'd touch what Min-jun was protecting. The men in the black sedan weren't Min-jun's. They were Petrov's. Amanda couldn't sleep. Min-jun's cryptic messages. The car outside. The way he talked like he could just snap his fingers and make people appear. Who the hell was he? At 3 a.m., she grabbed her laptop and did what she should have done weeks ago. She Googled him. Kang Min-jun plus New York. The first result made her stomach drop. NYPD links Korean organized crime to Manhattan smuggling ring. The article was from 8 months ago. Her eyes scanned frantically. Sources indicate the operation is run by Kang Min-jun, 34, believed to be the head of the Biko faction, a Korean-American criminal organization involved in drug trafficking, weapons smuggling, and extortion. There was a photo. Grainy. Taken from a distance. But unmistakable. Sharp jaw. Cold eyes. The same man whose name had made her smile for weeks. Amanda's hand flew to her mouth. She clicked another link. And another. Each one painted the same picture. Dangerous. Connected. Untouchable. A criminal. Her phone buzzed. Min-jun. Amanda, my associate is outside your building. His name is Jae-sung. He's there to help. Amanda stared at the message, then at the article still glowing on her screen. Her fingers moved on autopilot. Amanda. Kang Min-jun, head of the Biko faction. That's you, isn't it? The 3 dots appeared immediately. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Min-jun. Amanda. Amanda. Answer me. Are you a criminal? Min-jun. It's complicated. Amanda. It's a yes or no question. Min-jun. Yes. Amanda threw her phone across the room. Min-jun's phone rang 30 seconds later. He answered before the first ring finished. Amanda. Don't. Her voice was shaking, thick with tears and fury. Don't you dare say my name like you know me. Please, just listen. You lied to me. 4 weeks. I told you things, I trusted you, I let you into my life, and you were lying the entire time. I never lied about how I felt. Bullshit. Amanda was pacing now, one hand on her belly, the other gripping the phone so hard her knuckles hurt. You lied about who you are. That's the biggest lie there is. I was trying to protect you. From what? From you? Because that's what you are, right? You're dangerous. You're a criminal. You hurt people. Min-jun's jaw clenched. Yes. I do. But I would never hurt you. You already have. Amanda's voice broke. I actually thought. God, I was so stupid. I thought maybe, for once, someone actually gave a damn about me. But this was all just some game to you, wasn't it? Some bored mobster playing savior? It was never a game. Min-jun's voice was low, barely controlled. From the first photo, Amanda, you were never a game. Then what was I? A project? A charity case? You were the first real thing I'd felt in 15 years. Min-jun shouted, then stopped, breathing hard. When he spoke again, his voice was quiet. Raw. You were the first person who looked at me and didn't see a monster. Do you know what that's like? To exist in the dark for so long that you forget what light feels like. Amanda was crying now, silent tears streaming down her face. That's not fair. None of this is fair. But it's true. I can't do this, Min-jun. I can't be part of your world. I have a daughter coming. I can't. I know. The resignation in his voice stopped her. I know, he repeated. And I will stay away. But right now, Amanda, you're in danger. Not from me. From people who want to hurt me through you. So please, please, let Jae-sung protect you until I can neutralize the threat. And then what? Then I disappear. You never hear from me again. Amanda closed her eyes. Promise me. I promise. Another lie. But this time, Min-jun knew he meant it. Jae-sung was professional, efficient, and terrifying. He showed up at Amanda's door with two other men, all wearing dark suits and expressions that suggested they'd seen, and done, terrible things. Miss Collins, Jae-sung said in accented English, bowing slightly. I'm here to ensure your safety. Amanda stood in her doorway, arms crossed over her belly. I don't want any of you here. I understand. But there are men who wish to harm you because of your connection to Hyungnim, to Mr. Kang. They are not sophisticated. They are not honorable. They will not care that you are pregnant. Amanda felt the blood drain from her face. What? Your landlord, Viktor Petrov, has hired men from the Russian Bratva. They have been watching you. We believe they plan to take you within the next 48 hours. Take me? As in kidnap? Jae-sung nodded grimly. To draw out Hyungnim. To force his hand in a territory dispute. Amanda's legs went weak. She grabbed the doorframe. This is insane. This is insane. I just wanted to have my baby and be left alone. I know. And I am sorry. But please, let us protect you. Hyungnim would never forgive himself if something happened to you. I don't give a damn what he'd forgive himself for. Perhaps not. But you should give a damn about your daughter. That stopped her cold. Jae-sung's expression softened slightly. I have a daughter. She is 6 years old. There is nothing I would not do to keep her safe. Nothing. I see the same look in Hyungnim's eyes when he speaks of you. He is not a good man, Miss Collins. But his feelings for you are the most honest thing about him. Amanda was shaking. What do I have to do? Let us secure your apartment. Stay inside for the next 2 days. We will handle the rest. Min-jun stood in an abandoned warehouse in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Viktor Petrov knelt before him, zip-tied to a chair, blood running from his nose. Please, Petrov wheezed. I call off. I call off. Min-jun crouched down, his face level with Petrov's. When he spoke, his voice was conversational. Almost friendly. You put a target on an innocent woman. A pregnant woman. Because your ego couldn't handle being told no. I didn't know. I didn't know she mattered to you. That's the problem, Victor. She shouldn't have to matter to me to matter. She should have mattered anyway. Min-jun stood, pulling a pistol from his jacket. Petrov began to sob. Please. Please, I have family. So does she. Min-jun raised the gun. Then he lowered it. I'm not going to kill you, Victor. But only because the woman you tried to hurt is better than I am. She'd be disgusted if I did. Min-jun leaned in close. But if I even hear your name in the same sentence as hers again, I will erase you from existence. Your family will not find enough of you to bury. Do you understand? Petrov nodded frantically. Good. Now get out of my city. 2 days later, Amanda woke to silence. Jae-sung and his men were gone. There was a note on her kitchen counter. Threat eliminated. You are safe. Hyung-nim kept his promise. He will not contact you again. Amanda sat down heavily, reading the note over and over. It was over. She was safe. Min-jun was gone. This was what she wanted. So why did her chest feel like it was caving in? She picked up her phone, opening their message thread. The last text was from 2 days ago. Min-jun. I'm sorry, Amanda. For all of it. She started typing a response, then stopped. What could she even say? Thank you for lying to me? Thanks for putting my life in danger? Thanks for making me feel something I shouldn't feel? Her phone buzzed with a news alert. Territory dispute ends with arrest, Russian nationals detained in failed kidnapping plot. Amanda clicked the link, her heart pounding. The article detailed how NYPD had received an anonymous tip about a planned abduction. 3 men arrested. Connection to organized crime. No mention of her name. No mention of Min-jun. Just protection. One last time. Amanda placed her hand on her belly, feeling her daughter kick. Your mom is an idiot, she whispered. She fell for someone she can't have. Someone who lives in the dark. Her daughter kicked again, harder. And then Amanda's water broke. The pain came fast and wrong. Amanda gasped, doubling over. It was too early. She was only 34 weeks. No. No, no, no. She grabbed her phone with shaking hands, dialing 911. 911, what's your emergency? I'm pregnant, 34 weeks, my water broke and something's wrong, there's too much pain. Okay, ma'am, stay calm. What's your address? Amanda gave it through gritted teeth. Ambulance is on the way. Stay on the line with me. But Amanda wasn't listening anymore. Because her thumb had moved on autopilot, opening another contact. The phone rang once. Twice. Amanda? Min-jun's voice was rough, like he'd been asleep. Or like he hadn't slept in days. The baby, Amanda managed. Something's wrong. She heard movement. Urgency. Where are you? Home. Ambulance coming. But Min-jun, I'm scared. I'm on my way. Do you hear me? I'm coming. You promised you'd stay away. Fuck the promise. I'm coming. The line went dead. Min-jun arrived at Mount Sinai before the ambulance did. He'd broken every traffic law in New York to get there, Jae-sung driving like a demon behind him with 4 other men. When the ambulance pulled up, Min-jun was waiting at the emergency bay. The paramedics wheeled Amanda out, her face twisted in pain. Her eyes found his immediately. Min-jun. I'm here. I'm right here. A nurse tried to stop him. Sir, are you family? Yes. The word came out like a command. Like a fact that could not be disputed. The nurse looked at Amanda. Ma'am? Amanda reached out her hand. Min-jun took it. Yes, she whispered. He's family. They rushed her inside. Placental abruption, the doctor said grimly. We need to do an emergency C-section. Now. Amanda's eyes went wide with terror. Is she going to be okay? We're going to do everything we can. But I won't lie to you, she's premature, and this is a serious complication. Can he stay? Amanda asked, squeezing Min-jun's hand so hard it hurt. The doctor hesitated. During the C-section? Normally, no, but... Please. Amanda's voice cracked. Please, I need him. The doctor looked at Min-jun, then back at Amanda. Okay. But you'll need to gown up. Now. Min-jun had seen violence. Had caused violence. Had witnessed death in forms most people couldn't imagine. But nothing prepared him for the rawness of birth. He stood by Amanda's head as they prepped her, his hand gripping hers, whispering words he didn't know he knew. You're the strongest person I've ever met. You can do this. She needs you. I need you. Min-jun, if something happens to me. Nothing is going to happen. But if it does, promise me you'll make sure she's okay. That she grows up safe. That she knows she was wanted. That she was loved. Min-jun's eyes burned. I promise. But you're going to be the one to tell her. You're going to be there for every moment. The doctor called out, okay, we're starting. Amanda gripped Min-jun's hand tighter. And then, after minutes that felt like hours, a sound split the air. A cry. Thin. Reedy. But alive. She's here, the doctor announced. A little small, but she's breathing. She's fighting. Amanda sobbed, relief and joy and terror all mixed together. They brought the baby over, wrapped in blankets, just for a moment before they took her to the NICU. Hi, baby, Amanda whispered. Hi, sweet girl. Mommy's here. Min-jun stared at the tiny face, the dark skin, the impossibly small fingers. And something in him cracked open. 4 hours later, Amanda woke in recovery. Min-jun was sitting in a chair beside her bed, his jacket off, tie loosened, looking more human than she'd ever seen him. The baby, she asked immediately. Stable. 4 pounds, 2 ounces. They have her in the NICU, but the doctors are optimistic. She's a fighter. Like her mother. Amanda's eyes filled with tears. You stayed. Of course I stayed. You broke your promise. I've broken a lot of promises, Amanda. But I've never regretted one more. Which promise? The one about staying away, or the one about telling me the truth? Both. They sat in silence. Finally, Amanda spoke. I can't be with you, Min-jun. You know that, right? I can't raise my daughter in your world. I know. But you saved my life tonight. Both our lives. Anyone would have. No. They wouldn't. Amanda reached for his hand. You're a terrible person who does terrible things. And I should hate you for lying to me. You should. But I don't. Her voice broke. And that's the problem. Min-jun raised her hand to his lips, pressing a kiss to her knuckles. I'll stay away. After tonight, you won't see me again. But know this, you and your daughter will always be protected. Always. Whether you know it or not. Whether you want it or not. Min-jun. This isn't negotiable, Amanda. I won't interfere with your life. But I will keep you safe. Before Amanda could respond, her phone, sitting on the bedside table, buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. Unknown. Congratulations on your daughter, Miss Collins. Such a beautiful little family you're building. It would be a shame if anything happened to it. Below the text was a photo. Of Amanda. In the hospital. Taken from outside her window. 30 minutes ago. Amanda's blood ran cold. Min-jun. He took the phone, his face hardening into something inhuman. What is it? Amanda asked. Who? We missed one. His voice was flat. Dead. Petrov had a brother. He stood, already pulling his phone out to call Jae-sung. Amanda grabbed his arm. Min-jun, what does this mean? He looked at her, and for the first time, she saw something in his eyes that terrified her. Not anger. War. It means, Min-jun said quietly, that this isn't over. It means they just declared war on the wrong man. He leaned down, pressing his lips to her forehead. I will end this. I will burn their world to the ground. And then you will never have to be afraid again. You can't just. Yes. I can. He walked toward the door. Min-jun. He paused, looking back. Don't become a monster for me. Please. Min-jun's smile was sad. Broken. Amanda, I've always been a monster. You just made me wish I wasn't. And then he was gone. Amanda sat alone in that hospital room, her daughter fighting for life 2 floors down, a threat she didn't understand closing in around her. She'd sent a maternity photo to the wrong number. And now she was caught in a war between criminals, holding on to a man she couldn't have, protecting a daughter she'd die for. This was no longer a love story. It was a war. Drop a fire in the comments if you're ready for Min-jun to unleash hell. Hit like if you think Amanda should let him protect her, or comment run if you think she should disappear. Will Min-jun save them? Or will his world destroy everything? Min-jun hadn't slept in 3 days. His penthouse had become a war room. Maps of the city covered every surface. Photos of Russian operatives were pinned to walls. Laptops glowed with surveillance feeds. Jae-sung stood beside him, exhausted but vigilant. We've identified 12 known associates of Dmitry Petrov. Half are already in custody. The others have gone to ground. Find them. Min-jun's voice was arctic. All of them. Hyung-nim, we're doing everything. It's not enough. Min-jun slammed his hand on the table. They sent a photo to her hospital room. They know where she is. Where the baby is. Every second they breathe is a second she's not safe. We have men at the hospital. 4 outside her room. 6 on the perimeter. She's protected. Protected isn't safe. Safe is when every single one of them is in the ground. Jae-sung was quiet for a moment. You know what you're asking for. This kind of war, it will draw attention. Federal attention. The kind we can't buy or intimidate our way out of. Min-jun met his eyes. I don't care. You should. If you go down, the entire organization. I don't care. Min-jun's words were deliberate. Final. I have spent 15 years building an empire on blood and fear. And I would burn every single piece of it to keep her safe. Do you understand me? Jae-sung had known Min-jun since they were teenagers in Seoul, running small cons before they built something bigger. He'd seen him kill without hesitation. Seen him destroy rivals without mercy. But he'd never seen him like this. I understand, Hyung-nim. Good. Now find Dmitry Petrov. I want him breathing when you bring him to me. Amanda barely left the NICU. Her daughter, she'd named her Grace, after the false name Min-jun had saved her under, was still in an incubator. Tiny. Fragile. But fighting. The nurses had told Amanda that premature babies were resilient, that Grace's vitals were improving every day. But every time Amanda looked at her daughter through the clear plastic, hooked up to monitors and tubes, her heart broke a little more. You're going to be okay, baby girl, Amanda whispered, her hand pressed against the incubator. Mommy's here. Mommy's not going anywhere. But even as she said it, she could feel eyes on her. Min-jun's men were everywhere. In the hallway. By the elevators. One even sat in the corner of the NICU waiting room, pretending to read a magazine but watching every person who came through the door. It should have made her feel safe. Instead, it reminded her that her life had become something she didn't recognize. Her phone buzzed. Against her better judgment, she looked. Min-jun. How is she? Amanda stared at the message. She hadn't replied to him in 2 days. Hadn't known what to say. Amanda. She's stable. Getting stronger. Min-jun. And you? Amanda. I'm fine. Min-jun. Liar. Despite everything, Amanda felt her lips twitch. Almost a smile. Amanda. Your men are everywhere. I can't even go to the bathroom without an escort. Min-jun. I know it's invasive. I'm sorry. But until this is over. Amanda. When will it be over, Min-jun? When will I get to just be a normal mom with a normal life? The 3 dots appeared and disappeared several times. Min-jun. Soon. I promise. Amanda. You're good at promises you can't keep. Min-jun. This one I'll keep. Even if it costs me everything. Amanda closed her eyes, fighting back tears. Amanda. Don't do anything stupid. Min-jun. Too late for that. I did something stupid the moment I replied to your first text. Amanda. Min-jun. Min-jun. I have to go. Stay safe, Amanda. Kiss Grace for me. The message felt like goodbye. Amanda's chest tightened. Min-jun found Dmitry Petrov in a Brighton Beach warehouse. The Russians had gotten sloppy, confident in their numbers. They didn't know that Min-jun had spent the last 72 hours systematically dismantling their network, paying off informants, leveraging every connection he had. When Min-jun walked through the warehouse door, he came alone. 10 Russian men stood between him and Dmitry. All armed. All ready to kill. Dmitry laughed, a cold sound that echoed in the empty space. The Korean king comes himself. I'm honored. You shouldn't be. Min-jun's hands were empty, hanging loose at his sides. You should be terrified. Big words for a man outnumbered 10-1. You think these men will save you? Min-jun smiled. It was the smile of a predator. I gave your associates a choice 2 days ago. Walk away with their lives, or die loyal to a man who already lost. Guess which they chose? Dmitry's smile faltered. One by one, the 10 men lowered their weapons. Then they walked out. Dmitry stood alone, his face draining of color. Wait. You cowards. You. The warehouse door slammed shut. Now it was just Min-jun and Dmitry. You threatened my family, Min-jun said quietly, walking forward. You sent a picture to a woman who just gave birth. You made her afraid. Made her daughter's first days in this world about fear instead of joy. It was just business. It stopped being business the moment you involved her. Dmitry pulled a gun. Min-jun was faster. The gun clattered across the concrete floor. Dmitry clutched his broken wrist, screaming. Min-jun grabbed him by the throat, lifting him off the ground with one hand. I want you to understand something. I am going to make you disappear. Not kill you, that's too quick. I'm going to erase you so completely that your own mother won't remember your name. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, knowing that the moment you feel safe, I'll be there. Please. You don't get to beg. Min-jun threw him to the ground. You gave up that right when you threatened a baby. He pulled out his phone, made a call. It's done. Pick him up. The usual place. Within minutes, Jae-sung and 2 others arrived. Hyungnim, we have a problem, Jae-sung said quietly. Min-jun's eyes narrowed. What problem? The feds. They've been watching. This war, it drew attention. They're building a RICO case. Min-jun was silent for a long moment. How long do I have? Maybe a week. Maybe less. That's long enough. Min-jun returned to the hospital just before dawn. He stood outside Amanda's room, watching through the small window. She was asleep in the chair, her head resting against the incubator where Grace slept. Jae-sung stood beside him. What are you going to do? The only thing I can do. You're going to disappear. Yes. She'll never know what you sacrificed. Good. Min-jun's voice was firm. Let her think I'm a monster who walked away. Let her hate me. Let her daughter grow up never knowing my name. That's not what you want. What I want doesn't matter anymore. Min-jun watched Amanda sleep, memorizing every detail. What matters is that they're safe. That they have a chance at a normal life. I can't give them that if I'm here. Where will you go? Seoul. Or maybe somewhere they'll never think to look. It doesn't matter. As long as they're safe. Jae-sung bowed his head. It's been an honor, Hyungnim. Take care of them, Min-jun said. From a distance. Just make sure nothing ever touches them again. I will. Min-jun took one last look at Amanda and Grace. Then he walked away. Amanda woke to chaos. Nurses were rushing through the hallway. Security guards were everywhere. Someone was shouting about a lockdown. What's happening? Amanda asked frantically, standing. A nurse she recognized grabbed her arm. Miss Collins, you need to stay in your room. There's been a situation. What kind of situation? Is it about me? About Grace? No, it's about someone else. Just stay here. The guards will protect you. But when Amanda looked for Min-jun's men, the ones who'd been shadowing her for days, they were gone. All of them. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. The threat is neutralized. You and Grace are safe. Min-jun has made sure of it. But he can't stay. The authorities are coming for him. He wanted you to know that he never regretted a single moment, even the ones that hurt. Especially those. Take care of each other. Jay. Amanda's hands shook. No, she whispered. No. She tried calling Min-jun, straight to voicemail. She tried texting. No response. He was gone. 2 weeks later. Grace came home on a Tuesday. 4 pounds, 8 ounces now. Healthy. Strong. Perfect. Amanda stood in her apartment, the same one where this had all started, holding her daughter, tears streaming down her face. It's just us, baby girl, she whispered. But we're going to be okay. Your mama's got you. There was a knock at the door. Amanda tensed, then checked the peephole. A delivery man with a large box. She opened the door cautiously. Can I help you? Delivery for Amanda Collins. Sign here, please. She signed, took the box, closed and locked the door. Inside was an envelope and a smaller wrapped box. The envelope had her name written in careful handwriting. Amanda. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. The feds were closing in, and I couldn't risk staying and bringing that world to your door. You and Grace deserve better than that. Better than me. I know I lied to you. I know I put you in danger just by existing in your life. And I know you probably hate me for all of it. You should. But I need you to know something, those photos you sent by accident? They saved me. Not in some dramatic, obvious way. But in a way that mattered. They reminded me that there was still light in the world. That there was still something worth protecting beyond money and power. You reminded me what it felt like to be human. I've arranged for a trust fund for Grace. She'll have everything she needs, college, security, whatever life she chooses. It's untraceable, completely legal, and it's hers. No strings. No conditions. I've also made sure that no one from my world, or any world like it, will ever threaten you again. You're protected. Always. Even if you never see me again. I wish I could have been different. I wish I could have been the kind of man who deserved you. But we don't get to choose who we are, Amanda. We only get to choose what we do with it. And I chose you. I chose Grace. Even if it meant losing everything else. Thank you for seeing something good in me, even when I couldn't see it myself. Take care of our girl. Min-jun. Amanda was sobbing now, clutching the letter. She opened the wrapped box with shaking hands. Inside was a small silver necklace with a pendant, a tiny charm in the shape of a tiger. And beneath it, a photo. The maternity photo. The first one she'd sent by accident. But now it was in a beautiful frame, with an engraving at the bottom. Grace. 6 months later. Amanda sat in a park in Brooklyn, watching Grace, now 10 months old, reach for dandelions in the grass. Life had found a rhythm. Daycare. Work. Motherhood. It wasn't easy, but it was hers. Safe. Normal. She still thought about Min-jun every day. Wondered where he was. If he was safe. If he ever thought about them. Her phone buzzed with an email notification. The subject line made her breath catch. From a friend. She opened it. Amanda. I hope this finds you well. I know I promised to stay away, and I am. But I couldn't help myself. I needed to know you were okay. I see Grace is walking now. She looks so much like you. Strong. Beautiful. Fierce. I'm somewhere safe. Somewhere far from the life I used to live. I've started over, different name, different face in a way. It's quiet here. Peaceful. Sometimes boring. But I think about you every day. Both of you. I won't contact you again after this. This is my goodbye. My real goodbye. But I needed you to know, you changed me, Amanda. In ways I'm still discovering. Be happy. Be safe. Be everything I could never be. Always. M. Amanda wiped her eyes, watching Grace giggle as a butterfly landed near her hand. She typed a response, then deleted it. Typed again. Deleted again. Finally, she wrote. Min-jun. I don't hate you. I probably should, but I don't. You did terrible things. You lied. You put us in danger. But you also saved us. Protected us. Gave up everything so we could be safe. Grace will grow up never knowing your name. But she'll grow up knowing that she was loved before she even took her first breath. That someone fought for her. That someone chose her. I'll make sure she knows that part. Thank you for the trust fund. Thank you for the protection. Thank you for the letter. Thank you for replying to a wrong text message. Be safe, wherever you are. Amanda. She hit send before she could overthink it. Then she scooped Grace into her arms, spinning her around as her daughter squealed with delight. Come on, baby girl, Amanda whispered, kissing her forehead. Let's go home. 3 years later. Amanda opened her boutique on a Saturday morning in spring. She'd used part of Grace's trust fund, after much internal debate, to open a small maternity clothing store in Brooklyn. A place where women could feel beautiful during one of the most vulnerable times in their lives. It had been Grace's idea, in a way. Grace, now 3 years old, who loved playing dress-up and telling her mama she was the prettiest in the whole world. The bell above the door chimed. Amanda looked up from arranging a display, ready to greet her first customer. And froze. A man stood in the doorway. Korean. Tall. Handsome in a quiet, dangerous way. Different haircut. Different clothes. But the same eyes. The same eyes that had stared at her photo in the dark 3 years ago. Min-jun, she breathed. He smiled. It was tentative. Uncertain. Hi, Amanda. You said you wouldn't. I know. I lied. Again. He took a step forward. But I've spent 3 years building a different life. A legal one. Boring. Safe. And every single day, I woke up thinking about you. About Grace. About the life I walked away from. Min-jun, you can't just show up. I know. I know I have no right. But I had to try. I had to see if maybe, he stopped, struggling for words. If maybe there was still a chance. Not for what we were. But for what we could be. Amanda's eyes filled with tears. You think you can just walk back into our lives? No. I don't think that at all. But I'm asking if you'd let me try. Slowly. Carefully. As whatever you're willing to give me. Mama. Both of them turned. Grace stood in the doorway of the back room, holding a stuffed tiger, the one Amanda had bought her when she was a baby, inspired by the necklace. She looked at Min-jun with curious eyes. Who are you? Min-jun knelt down, making himself small and unthreatening. I'm a friend of your mom's. My name is Min-jun. That's a funny name, Grace said, giggling. It is, isn't it? Min-jun smiled, and Amanda saw genuine joy in his face. What's your name? Grace. That's a beautiful name. Grace walked up to him, fearless. Want to see my tiger? I'd love to. Amanda watched them, her heart breaking and healing at the same time. Grace, baby, go play in the back for a minute, okay? Mama needs to talk to her friend. Okay. Grace skipped away, humming to herself. When she was gone, Amanda turned to Min-jun. You can't do this. You can't come in here and make her love you and then leave. I won't leave. Not unless you tell me to. What about your past? Your enemies? Everything you ran from? Dead. In prison. Or neutralized. I made sure of it before I ever got on a plane back to New York. He took another step closer. I spent 3 years making sure that the man I was couldn't hurt the people I love. And I'm ready, Amanda. To be the man you deserve. The man Grace deserves. I don't know if I can trust you. I know. But I'm asking for the chance to earn it. Amanda looked at him, really looked at him. The man who had lied to her. Protected her. Sacrificed everything for her. The man who had become both her nightmare and her salvation. One chance, she said finally. You get one chance. And if you mess this up, if you hurt her, or put her in danger, or lie to me again, you'll never see me again. I know. Worse. I'll make sure you regret it. Min-jun laughed softly. I believe you. Amanda wiped her eyes. I must be insane. Probably. This doesn't mean we're together. This doesn't mean anything except you get to try. That's all I'm asking for. Grace ran back out. Mama, can the funny name man stay for lunch? Amanda looked at Min-jun. He looked at her. Yeah, baby, Amanda said softly. He can stay for lunch. It wasn't a fairy tale. It was messy. Complicated. Built on lies and violence and a wrong text message that changed everything. But it was real. And sometimes, real is better than perfect. Amanda never forgot who Min-jun had been. But she chose to believe in who he was becoming. Grace grew up knowing that sometimes love comes from unexpected places. That strength means choosing vulnerability. That family isn't always about blood, it's about who shows up. And Min-jun spent the rest of his life proving that monsters can learn to be human again. All because of 3 maternity photos. Sent to the wrong number. At exactly the right time. If this story moved you, drop a comment with love wins and tell me, did they deserve their happy ending? Smash that like button if you believed in them from the start, and share this with someone who needs to hear that love can be messy, dangerous, and worth it all at the same time. Should there be a sequel following their life together? Comment sequel and let me know what happens next. Thank you for going on this journey with Amanda, Min-jun, and Grace. Sometimes the best love stories are the ones that shouldn't work, but do anyway. Until next time, keep believing in second chances.